Dr. Nicola, and I wanted to chat with you today for the women and for the men who love them, be it brothers, husbands, sons. I've had a lot of women coming through over the past few months that are receiving, in my opinion, pretty poor health care for women, related to reproductive issues, hormone balance, you name it. And so this is really a public service announcement for all of the women out there and for the men who are in women's lives to really question your health care. Do you understand what you're taking and why you're taking it? Do you have a clear understanding of what's normal in your body? For a lot of women who are still having their monthly cycle, it's common to have painful or heavy or irregular periods, but that doesn't make it normal. And so taking birth control pills or like a Mirena, the hormone IUD that prohibits you from having a cycle, is not actually curing what's going on. When your cycle is out of whack, it is your body's signal to you to tell you that there is an imbalance going on nutritionally, hormonally. Something else is out of whack, nervous system wise, and that needs to be addressed. So when we take a artificial hormone and it doesn't really get to the underlying issue. And while I'm talking about that, I do want to mention, if you're on a birth control pill or the Mirena and not having your monthly flow, in my opinion, that is really not the healthiest choice, because our monthly cycle, not only it has a spiritual connection, but there's also a really important physiological connection where we detoxify through the uterus as an organ of elimination. And so when we don't allow our body to build and shed that uterine lining, we are not detoxifying our body as fully as we could. And then emotionally, us ladies, the uterus and the reproductive organs are a nice place to stuff difficult emotions, trauma, grief, those sort of things. And so if we're not having a monthly flow, we're not really able to fully release and process those emotions. And so if that you're someone who struggles with a difficult period, I just want you to know there's other things out there that can support you and allow you to have a normal, healthy period that doesn't include pain and heavy bleeding and all that sort of stuff. If you're someone who has moved through your cycles and are in menopause and you want to talk about hormone health, I'm a really big fan around considering bioidentical hormone replacement as an option. Herbs are another option. Seed cycling and nutrition are other options. But a lot of women that I see that come into me are on unopposed estradiol, which is a form of estrogen that's a little bit stronger, and it's not being balanced by progesterone, and they're also not getting the estriol, which is a weaker estrogen, but confers more of the positive benefits of estrogen. And so I just want you, if you are someone who is either on hormones for birth control or hormones postmenopausally to keep your balance, I want you to know what you're taking, why you're taking it, and I certainly want you to do a test to know what your baseline is. Where are you in balance? Where are you out of balance? I don't believe that blood tests are very accurate. Partially is because in the serum, most of the hormone in there is bound or less active, whereas in the saliva, 97% of the hormone that we can measure is in the free or bioactive form. Also, hormones are cyclical through the day, and they should be. And so when we do a saliva test, you can test at 4 different points over the course of the day so that you can then pool those results and get a better sense of what your general picture is as far as too much or deficiency for all 3 of the estrogens, which is estrone, estradiol, and estriol, looking at progesterone, testosterone, and DHEA. DHEA is the precursor or the building block to estradiol and testosterone, but it's also the building block for cortisol, our primary stress hormone. So for when our ovaries go into retirement, physiologically, we would hope that our adrenal glands would take over producing the lion's share of reproductive hormones. Well, for most women, by the time they make menopause, they are feeling pretty crispy and pretty fried. And so the adrenals aren't always able to take over that task. And so then we put on abdominal weight because those fat cells will start secreting estrogen and producing estrogen. So understanding that when we're stressed, We can steal DHEA to make more cortisol so that we don't have as much bioavailable to make healthy levels of testosterone and estradiol. And that also understanding that if the adrenals aren't up to snuff, then we're going to see more menopausal symptoms, especially that abdominal weight gain, than if we had a more balanced stress system over time. So what's the point of me sharing all this with you is that women, our health is really unique, and you need someone who really understands and honors the cycles of your body, the monthly cycles and the life cycles of, before having the period, childbearing years, and then moving beyond childbearing years, and how to best support you through no matter what part of your life cycle you are in. So this is just really a public service announcement. Please consider where you are at. Consider how your hormones might be affecting not only your monthly flow, but could be affecting your mood, your cognition. Progesterone has a huge role in mental and cognitive functioning. And so I see a lot of my perimenopausal and menopausal women that are in the height of their careers that feel like their brain is furry and fuzzy, that they're not as sharp as they were, that sticky notes are their new best friend. They wouldn't be able to do anything without it. And this is real, and they don't talk about it because they don't want anyone to know that they're not as sharp as they were in their 30s. And so this is something to keep in mind. Progesterone also has a huge role in sleep. So I see a lot of women, again, perimenopausal, menopausal women who all of a sudden have sleep issues, or sleep issues that have been there have really intensified. So we have to, and liver function and B vitamins and essential fatty acids, all of these things are really, really important to make sure that we can produce and process and detoxify our hormones effectively. So please take a few moments now and think about how you've been approaching the female reproductive part of your healthcare, and ask a question of if is there something else possible for you? And if so, what might that look like? If you want some guidance, I'm happy to either work with you directly or refer you to someone who's local and can help you really just optimize this healthcare, because this is such an important piece, ladies, and it's impacting you probably more than you realize. So please, 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 from my heart to yours, take a few moments, reflect on this, and let me know what you've discovered that really works for you. Or if you have questions, please go ahead and email me or post them below. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you being here. Thanks. Bye-bye.